and there is some signage that is that will tell you what the medicinal herbs were used for in the past, or out of Gerard's Book of Medicine in 14 or 1500s. So if you want to see what some of these things were used for, you can. So when you think about it, we have salad, seasonings, we have seasoning, salad, herbs for teas, alcoholic beverage, cosmetic. There's a lot of herbs play a big role in our lives that we may not be aware of. Do you agree?
And a lot of the pharmaceutical companies.
Oh yeah, the pharmaceutical companies, you bet. Periwinkle for cancer, a lot of things. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
All right. Now we're going to go over to the Japanese garden. Well, let's walk through the roses and see how does your garden grow today. Now these are our hybrid tea roses.
You see the smoke?
Yeah. It's like one of our new sprinklers sprung a leak. But the roses are beautiful. This is, like I say, hybrid teas. Most of them developed since the 1950s. And this is not their height of their beautiful season, because it's when they first bloom about Mother's Day. It's when the garden is in full bloom. And also, as it gets cooler in the fall, they get more beautiful.
Oh.
And then in January, they cut them all back, because roses will grow in this climate all year round, but they cut them back quite severely.
So the best way, the best month is May.
May,
To
about
appreciate
Mother's
all the-
Day. Oh yeah, if you like roses, that's when you would like to come. I mean, they're not bad now, but they're not anywhere near as beautiful as they are then. Now, as we enter the Asian part of the garden, for all of those that may not be familiar, these are called lions, and they are guardians. They keep away bad spirits. If you could have them, if you have an estate, you'd have them at the gates. If you don't, you'd have them at the door of your house. And if you don't have a house, you have them at the doors of your apartments. My son lived in Hong Kong for about 10 years, and every time we go visit him, lived on the 30th floor. You know, you get off this little elevator and you see these old food lions sitting along with the joss sticks burning, you know, kind of thing. So everybody, they truly believe that these two keep away the bad spirits. So that's the male. He has his foot on the world, and the female has her foot on the children. So it's very symbolic. And if you were to use these in your garden, for garden art, make sure that you're facing the garden that the male is on the right. Yin and yang. Good luck. Good spirits. From Australia. Look at the blooms on this. This is that gorgeous? Okay. You're looking at Queensland Lace Park. These beauties put out what do they call it? A seed pod. And if you happen to have a whole branch with these seed pods, the pods are so big they broke our branch off. I mean, they fell right into our roses. So they really are prolific. It's like everything in Australia, kind of really big. That's why they don't have so many people. Everything else grows so big. We'll make a left here. Go.
This is the best garden. Oh, we go down.
The perfect thing to gong a gong with is we grow them in our desert garden. And whenever they do afford a gong here because of some Japanese holiday or some event, there's no clapper in there. So what it is they use one of these are huge agave plants, and those blooms that come up, when the bloom has finished blooming, they will cut that off because it's the right density, the right weight, and it doesn't damage the gong. It's not, it's not. Otherwise, what do you use? A 4x4? So these agave bloom stalks make perfect gong devices. So this has been said 108 times in the morning, 108 times at night is how often they were gonged, and that is to keep away bad spirits. The 108 is indicative of like 72 atmospheres, so many climates, and so many seasons, and I've forgotten all the formula, but I've had people on my tour that lived in South Korea, and they said they live very close to a Buddhist monastery, and they start at 5 a.m. every morning gonging. And they do gong these beauties 108 times. So the funny thing about the 108 is that it's really kind of an interesting number, and as you go through life, you'll probably come. I've had people from India who say that on the prayer beads of the Hindu prayer beads that there's 108 beads. So it kind of moves from religion to religion. And someone says, okay, you look at it, 100. 1 is alpha, 0 is omega, and the 8, if you put it on its side, is infinity. So how's that for the power of numbers? So 9 is the most, and 8 plus 1 is 9, and 9 is supposedly in the world of numerology the most powerful number. So dwell on that one for a while. So this was an old arroyo that had nothing but poison ivy and wild grapes. Are prehistoric.
Sago pine.
We only have 3 prehistoric plants on the property. Sago pines are one, ginkgo trees are the other, and then we have a dawn redwood, which is prehistoric. These are native to southern Japan. Sago is. Spelled S-A-G-O.
Oh, okay.
Boy, look at that. Look at that beautiful thing. Now, the difference because we're going to go into the Chinese garden as well. The difference between Chinese and Japanese in a lot of instances is just what they call things. These are called carp in the Chinese garden. They're called koi here. How are these? Are these gorgeous or what?
Ours died.
Died?
Too
old or what?
just from the heat.
Look at that. Well, the biggest thing, the biggest predators these guys have are the raccoons. And the raccoons come down here at night, and they just sit here with their little paws out and grab whoever goes by. Oh. And as you notice, there's a lot of places for the koi to kind of, look at that, somebody's been feeding them over there. We have this feeding thing. But this is our sacred lotus, which has just passed its blooming season, but look at the size of the leaf on it. It's just gorgeous. And you can grow sacred lotus in still water at all. Oh yeah, they have huge gorgeous blooms. Those are your water lilies over there. The one thing that somebody mistakenly planted but we got rid of is water hyacinths. Water hyacinths are so invasive that they'll cover.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, they'll grow up. They'll grow up the hill. I have a feeling if you let them. Now, we have a gentleman here who is a volunteer. We have about 1,000 volunteers, and his name is Ben Oki, O-K-I. He is a world-class bonsai master, and he travels all over the world. He is over 80 right now. But he still comes over here, and he advises our gardeners on how to prune. He himself doesn't do pruning. But, as you notice, we can all grow these bushes, but can we prune them to look this way? There's the art right there. Rock and green. These are the elements that they like to plant.
Rock, water, and green.
I don't exactly know what it is, but somebody explained to me.
Something.
Now I'm going to bring you here because I want everybody to. Around the corner of this house there are restrooms, and then there's water fountain if anybody would like to take a break. Just want to let you know. This is a authentic Japanese house built in the late 1800s. If any of you watched The Last Samurai, Tom Cruise was being held captive in a house that looked quite a bit like this. And even if you think about the time frame, it was late 1800s, so it was after the Civil War. So this house was built in Japan, dismantled, brought over here with the builder, rebuilt here in